Hey Jeff, great job during this past Wednesday's golf lesson. I just wanted to share with you a video that kind of reflects some of the changes that we've been making in your game. On the left here we have a before swing which was filmed back on June 1st of this year, and on the right there's the after swing which we filmed on Wednesday. So what you're going to notice during this video is that you're making a much better coil now than you have in the past, so you're turning better, and that's causing you to keep your balance a little bit better, and it's improving the ball flight. So let's take a look and you can see how this is taking place. So on the left, watch how the club as it swings back is swinging fairly well up the line there. So this part actually is really good. Now after you get to hip high, or step one, you now stop turning and the club just lifts. So you're going to see here as we go up to the top that you haven't really turned much. And what I mean by that is you're going to see a difference here in where this left hand gets. So notice that hasn't really gotten that deep behind your chest. Now as we take a look here on the left, you're going to notice how the arms swing a little bit more across the chest, more inward, and then when we get up towards the top, you can see a much different look. So again, drawing a line off that left hand there, you can see that it's in a deeper position across the body. That's way, way better. Again, much better coil and a better turn to the top, and it's going to make the downswing a lot easier. So now as we start down, let's take a look here on the left. You're going to see the club comes down and it's coming in at a pretty steep angle, which you can see here by this red line. So it's above our yellow line, or our ideal path. And then as we look at the swing on the right, you can see that you're basically just unwinding your body. There's a little tiny squat and the club just falls right on the yellow line. So now that line is more right there, right where we want it. So that's a huge change, big difference. As we come into impact here on the left, you can see the club's coming from outside or above the yellow line and then swings and exits left, and that's going to cause usually a fade where a ball just kind of curves off to the right. Now let's take a look on the right. You can see the club's coming more on the yellow line, there's impact, and now it goes outside of the yellow line, and that's going to promote a ball flight that looks a little bit more like that, where it curves back from right to left, which is much more powerful, and it's going to be a lot more fun to play that kind of a shot. So really good job there. This next clip is a comparison of yourself versus Ben Hogan, and we're just using Ben here as an example as far as kind of what we're trying to work on in your game as far as how we shift our weight and pivot, or rotate, in other words, in the downswing. So let's take a look here on your swing, and I'm going to draw a couple lines. So during your lesson we talked about trying to focus on getting the right side of the body past the golf ball, or towards your left side. Okay, so I'm going to draw a secondary line here near your left leg. As you can tell, I did that on Ben's swing as well. Now let's take a look at yours. Now what I'm seeing on the way back is it looks like we're using a lot of arms to kind of just get the club swinging, and then as we come down we're using a lot of arms as well, and you can see that the chest kind of stays back by that yellow line and never really gets to the green line. So that's something that we're really trying to work on, is learning how to shift a little bit better to get a little bit more of a lateral motion going towards the target. So now let's take a look over at Ben, and you'll see as he swings back, gets a little bit away from that yellow line, and then now he bumps into it, and then as he comes into impact, you can see he gets everything basically stacked up against that line. He's actually almost a little bit out in front of it even. So that's what you're trying to work on in your game as well, is try to make sure that you feel like you're kind of getting a tiny lateral motion going more towards the target as you're coming through on the downswing.
So in conclusion, Jeff, the things to work on would be to try to create a little bit more coil going back. That'll help you on the downswing to approach the ball more from the inside out. The way that you're going to be able to own that is through half swings. So you're going to have to really spend some time at the range doing just some half shots where you swing back to about hip high, make sure the club's positioned a little bit more behind you, and then swing through from there. The second thing to work on would be trying to finish on your left side of your body. So a good way to focus on that, and try to focus on getting your sternum and the right side of your body past the golf ball as you're coming through the shot. And that'll help to make sure that you're getting more of your weight on the forward side, moving more towards your actual target. So I'm loving the progress that you're making in your game. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing you at your next lesson.